Hello everyone. Now in this video the topic which we are going to do is the most important topic of the entire partnership, that's the revaluation of assets and reassessment of liabilities. What is this? Let's find it out. Yeah. Revaluation of assets and reassessment of liabilities. So, at the time of admission of a new partner, it is always desirable to ascertain whether the assets of the firm are shown in the books at their current values. In case of assets are overstated or understated, these are revalued. Similarly, a reassessment of liabilities is also done so that these are bought in the books at their correct values. At the time, there may also be some unrecorded assets and liabilities of the firm. These also have to be bought in the books of the firm. For this purpose, the firm has to prepare the revaluation account. Okay, it is also called P&L adjustment, profit and loss adjustment account. The gain or loss on revaluation of each assets and liability is transferred to the account, and finally its balance is transferred to the capital accounts of the old partners in the old profit sharing ratio. Do remember this, that old partners in the old profit sharing ratio. So in other words, the revaluation account is credited with increase in the value of each asset and decreases in its liabilities because it is a gain and is debited with decrease in the value of assets and increase in the value of liabilities. Okay, its liabilities debited to revaluation account because it is a loss. Similarly, unrecorded assets are credited and unrecorded liabilities are debited to the revaluation account. If the revaluation account finally shows a credit balance, then it indicates the net gain, and if it is a debit balance, then it indicates net loss, which will be transferred to the capital account of the old partners in the old ratio. So first of all, after reading this, what is this revaluation account? Now see, when a new partner is coming in, okay, the firm was working for last 10 years. Okay, in those 10 years, the firm bought a land. The firm bought a land for, let's say, 1 lakh rupee. After 10 years, the land value has increased to 10 lakh rupee. Now the new partner is coming into the business and he is going to be a partner of that land also. By paying so less capital, he wants a share in that land. Now, the old partners can object to it. This increase in the value should be the gain should belong to us, and they are absolutely correct. In the same way, if any losses were incurred because of them, now that loss should also belong to them, and that is the reason why at the time of reconstitution of the firm, all the balance sheet items, okay, the assets and liabilities are revalued or reassessed as the case may be, and the current market values are to be ascertained. Whatever profit or loss because of this increase or decrease has happened will belong to the old partners in the old ratio. Before going to the journal entries, I'll show you the revaluation account, okay, so that it will be easier for us to understand. It's a very simple account. Let's look into it. So it is it's also called P&L adjustment account. Okay, so let's check the format. It's an account, so we'll have debits and credits. So now, see, you need to remember the P&L account, okay, or P&L appropriation. Whatever expenses of the firm will be debited, whatever incomes or gains for the firm will be credited. So let's see, if there is an increase in the value of an asset, okay, the land was written as 1 lakh, but the value has increased to 10 lakh, so 9 lakh rupee increase. This is a profit, this is a gain, so it will be on the credit side. So by increase in value of asset, all the assets increase will be written here. Also, let's see, there was a liability of 5 lakh rupee, but now the firm is not supposed to pay that liability, okay? That liability has been waived off, whatever reason, there is a decrease in value of that liability. So that's also a gain for the firm again. By decrease in value of liability. In the same way, the opposite, if there is a decrease in value of asset, that's a loss for the firm, so it will be on the debit side. In the same way, if we have to pay more to settle a liability now, the claim has increased, so that's a loss. Now, one fine day, you just saw, okay, there is a computer which belongs to the firm, but it was not recorded in our asset. So now it should be recorded. So again, an unrecorded asset is now coming in the books. So it is a gain for the firm. The firm does not have to pay any money. So any unrecorded asset will be a gain for the firm. In the same way, any unrecorded liability is a loss. Now, after writing all these things, if what we'll do, we will settle the accounts. If the difference is this way, so it will be a by net loss. Okay, it's a loss, so not net loss, just a loss on revaluation transferred to old partners in old ratio. Okay, if the loss is there, if we settle and the balance comes here, the balancing figure, then it will be a profit. So to profit on revaluation transferred to old partners in old ratio. Okay, this is the format. Expenses or losses here, incomes or gains there. Now, if we have understood this, then studying these journal entries will not be a problem for us. So let's see the journal entries for increase in the value of assets. So asset value is increasing. To increase the value of an asset, we have to debit the asset. To decrease the value of an asset, we have to credit the asset. That we already know. So if the value of asset is increasing, asset debit, what will be credited? Revaluation. And for reduction, just the opposite. Revaluation will be debited, asset will be credited. For appreciation in the amount of liability, liability is increasing, that's a loss, okay? So revaluation will be debited and liability will be credited. And for reduction, just the opposite. Liability will be debited and revaluation will be credited. Unrecorded asset is also a profit gain. So asset will be debited and revaluation will be credited, and unrecorded liability is a loss. So revaluation will be debited and liability will be credited. For transfer of gain, so if there are gain, then revaluation debit to old partners in the old ratio. If there is a loss, old partners capital debit to revaluation in the old ratio. Entries 1, 2, 3 and 4 are recorded only when the amount increase and decrease in the value of assets and liabilities. If there is no increase or decrease, then we will not write. Let's look at illustration 24 to understand it better. Following in balance sheet of A and B who share profits in the ratio of 3:2. So their balance sheet as on 1st April 2015, that is 31st March 2015. So on the asset side they have cash, debtors, stock, furniture and plant and machinery. On the liability side they have capitals and creditors. So do remember, we only adjust for outside liabilities, not the new liability, reserve and surplus. So on that date, C is admitted into the partnership on the following terms. That C brings in 15,000 as capital and 5,000 as premium for goodwill for 1/6 share. Okay. The value of stock is reduced by 10%. So stock we have to reduce by 10%. So 10% of 15,000 is 1,500. While plant and machinery is appreciated by 10%. So 10% increase. So there is a loss in this, there is a profit in plant and machinery. Furniture is to be revalued at 9,000. So right now furniture is 10,000. If we have to revalue it at 9,000, that means 1,000 rupee is the loss. Next, a provision for doubtful debt is to be created on the sundry debtors. So again, that's a loss. A new liability provision is what? A liability. It's coming into the business, so it's a loss. And 200 is to be provided as for an electricity bill. That's again a provision. So it's an unrecorded liability, loss. Investment worth rupees 1,000 not mentioned in the balance sheet is to be taken into account. So investment is an unrecorded asset. It's a gain. A creditor of rupees 100 is not likely to claim his money and is to be written off. So a liability is coming down. That's a gain. Record necessary journal entries. So first of all, the entries relating to partner coming in. Bank account debit to C's capital to goodwill 2015 and 5. And this goodwill will be distributed amongst the old partners in the sacrificing ratio. They have just written goodwill here, and here they have written to goodwill. Then it's okay. Yes. To this entry we already know. Now the entries which we need to know is when the assets value is increasing or the assets value is decreasing. So in case of stock, furniture and a provision for doubtful debt, revaluation will be debited. Why? These all are our losses. Okay. So revaluation is getting debited to the amount of that loss. And when there is an income gain, then revaluation will be credited and those assets will be debited. Plant and machinery debit, investment debit to revaluation to the extent of that gain. Now again, outstanding electricity account, revaluation is getting debited because this is a new provision. So revaluation is getting debited here. Revaluation is getting credited. Why? Because a creditor is not likely to ask for rupees 100. So sundry creditor debit to realization, that's the gain. Lastly, when we settle this realization account, we need to know whether we are making a profit or loss. Here, it's evident that we are making a profit, and that profit is going to A and B's, the old partners in the old ratio, realization debit. You will understand it better by looking at the revaluation account. Now this revaluation account, see here all the profits are gains are given, here all the expenses are given, and the balancing figure of this is our profit, which is transferred to old partners in the old ratio. So old partners capital account by balance brought down their capital, whatever money he is bringing as capital by bank, goodwill has been distributed amongst them, and the revaluation profit was there, so it's again credited. So whatever is the balance, we have to carry forward. This account we already know, we have done in previous chapter. Let's see illustration 25. Given below is the balance sheet of A and B who are carrying on the partnership business as on March 31st, 2017. And A and B share profits in the ratio 2:1. Let's look at the balance sheet. Cash in hand, cash at bank, sundry debtors, stock, plant and machinery and building. On the liability side, bills payable, sundry creditor, outstanding expenses and the capitals are given. C is admitted as a partner on the date of balance sheet on the following terms. C will bring 1 lakh as his capital and 60,000 as his share of goodwill for 1/4 share in the profits. Plant is to be appreciated to 1,20,000. So plant was of 1 lakh, now it's appreciated to 1,20,000. So what is the gain? The gain is of 20,000. And the value of building is to be appreciated by 10%. So building 1,50,000 by 10% means 15,000. Stock is found overvalued by 4,000. So an asset is overvalued. We have to reduce it. Reduction in value for asset is a loss. So 4,000 here is a loss for stock. A provision for doubtful debt is to be created at 5% of data. So again a new provision, a new liability is coming in. That's a loss. And creditors were unrecorded. So creditors' liabilities are increasing because they were unrecorded. Now we have to record it to the extent of rupees 1,000. Record revaluation account, partners capital account in the balance sheet of the constituted firm, reconstituted firm after admission. So our revaluation account, whatever is the increase 20,000 and 15,000, the decrease 4,000, provision 3,000 and a new creditor coming in 1,000. So the balance of 27,000 in the old ratio of 2:1. In the capital account, it is balance brought down, the new partner money, the goodwill which has been distributed and the revaluation account profit has been given, and the same has been the balancing figures of the three and the balance sheet. Now the balance sheet will show the revalued figure. So there is no change in cash and bank. Okay, there is a change in cash and bank. Yeah, see, cash is same, but bank is from 40,000. It has increased to 2 lakh. Why? Because the new partner is bringing 1 lakh rupee here as what? His share, plus he is also bringing in his share of goodwill. The goodwill share was how much? 60,000. So 1 lakh and 60,000, if we increase to 40,000, the bank balance has increased. Why the bank balance increased? Because the partners have not withdrawn the money. So now debtors were 60,000 less the new provision. Debtors are now at 57 stock. Reduced figure of 36. Earlier it was 40, now it's just 36. Plant and machinery, earlier it was 1 lakh, now it is 1 lakh 20. And building also from 1 lakh 50 to 1 lakh 65 increase. This is the total of asset. On the liability side, there was no change in bills payable, but there was a change in creditor. A new creditor came in, an outstanding expense, same. And the closing balances of capital we have just put in here, and our balance sheet tallies. So students, that's it for now in this lecture. I'll see you in the next lecture. Thank you.